On a shake roof, when we walk the roof, we're looking for things that are worn out. So here you have an example of an erosion hole. There'd be a shake here and a shake here. And the only thing keeping water out of your house is the felt paper that's represented by my skin color, if you can see it. So when we're walking the roof, we're looking for shakes that from the ground to a layperson, they look like they're all there. But when you get up on the roof and you look down, you're seeing black felt paper, which is only a 2 to 5 year keep, and then it leaks. So those shakes have to come out, and we count them as we walk around. So if you look at a 10 by 10 area on your roof, 10 by 10, that's what a square is. 1 square of roofing is a 10 by 10 area. There's 200 shakes that make up that 10 by 10 area. So if you go over a 10% repair, so if there's more than 20 shakes in that 10 by 10 area, that roof needs to be handled maybe with just putting metal shims under it and then plan to replace it in a couple, 2 to 3 years. But if you have 20, 30% repair, so that would be 40 to 50 of the 200, that is a hard clue that it's time to replace the roof. You have pulled all those shakes out, you've worked them out, they have 2 fasteners in each one, then you've slid a new shake in place, you've put 2 fasteners, so you've put lots of holes in that underlayment, and you're disturbing the whole thing in such a big amount that it's more than likely going to leak and not going to last, because it is the shakes that look good and protect the paper that keeps the water out of your home. When you call us out for your well care inspection, if we say, you know what, your roof's at the age or the point in its life where it's got too much repair needed to make it a viable, extendable roof, we suggest you embrace it and plan to replace it as soon as possible, or we might suggest shimming it and then plan to replace in 2 or 3 years. So that would be on the wood shake roofs. On the shingle roofs, we find all sorts of weird things. Like, for example, this is an asphalt shingle. And you see these lines right here. That's where the nails were supposed to go. And you see there's one here, but the water got to it and it corroded off. See that? It's sheared straight off. And so they thought, well, we're going to fasten it by putting them up here. And you'll see all sorts of crazy things. I know some expert roofer who's watching this video is going to say, who would ever do that? But when you take care of 11,000 roofs put on by everybody else in Portland for 34 years, you find the weirdest applications of nice material you've ever seen in your life. So when we look at those asphalt shingles and we look at perhaps they were put on incorrectly when they were installed, and so the weather and age has caused them to corrupt and come out of their form, and you're walking this roof, you're thinking, okay, this roof cannot be helped. We need to plan to replace it. On tile roofs, that's the cement tile roofs that you see around Portland, the product itself works great in very arid climates, but we struggle here in Portland because of the amount of growth, the amount of debris, and the amount of water. Cement, erodes, and that cement silt feeds into your valleys and goes into your gutters, and then the growth eats the cement and creates even more of that, and so you're having to handle a lot of water. And at the very bottom edge of the roof is what we call anti-ponding metal is supposed to be there. And in most of the tile roofs, because they put them on in arid areas down in California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico. But when you come up here, there's just a lot of moisture, a lot of condensation. And when that flows down underneath the tile and that paper, if they don't have that metal that's holding up the paper gets a sag in it. So here's your gutter, and your paper is right here, and it gets a sag, it rots out all the way around your roof. So a clue to that is you see water coming down behind your gutters or behind your fascia boards. So whenever you're looking at a tile roof and you're seeing waters coming down, not making it to the gutter, generally 90% of the tile roofs do not have the anti-ponding metal, and it is a huge project to take up the 2 or 3 rows of tile, replace the moisture barrier on top of new anti-ponding metal, and get that roof to where it needs to be. So you need to know this when you're maintaining your roof or buying a home with these types of roofs. And if you call Roof Life of Oregon, that's what you're going to get in your well care checkup. We're going to find those issues, going to give you the whole picture so that you can decide, do I take care of this roof or do I replace this roof?